Wow, this hair is fantastic, but I've done a lot of nothing today. As you can hear, I have the windows open. I've been reading my book, and I'm halfway through, and I'm editing the vlog that you guys are about to watch. And I just wanted to hop on and say this is my first vlog back to YouTube. I'm excited about it. I forgot that I like vlogging and that I like video editing, and so hopefully you guys like it. I tried to keep this one very non-seed related, non-garden related, just because there's a lot of that content coming out in a little bit. And I will still be doing like a garden vlog and a regular reading vlog kind of simultaneously. And especially once garden season, seed starting is over and it's just like watering and stuff, it'll cool down a little bit and then becomes harvest time. So there's so much to look forward to. It's a new year. I'm so excited you're here. And let's get into this vlog. Come with me to pick up an Azure Standard order on this snowy February morning. So Azure Standard, for those that don't know, is a bulk buying website where you can buy organic, gluten-free, all of the things. And I'm showing you some of the things that I got, including organic popcorn, organic banana chips, sea salt, some raw cheddar cheeses that I wanted to try. They're incredible, by the way. And then I also have some chocolate milk from Alexander's I wanted to try, Nancy's cottage cheese, Alexander probiotic yogurt, and then of course look how cute Staben is. So I really thought I had like a voice recording of making these blueberry muffins, but I guess I don't know. I don't know why I didn't do any talking here. So I'm editing me popping in to say hello and let you know what I'm doing. I'm trying to remember this recipe because I kind of made it up. In the bowl, I have some homemade buttermilk that I had left over from making butter. I have oil. I just added some vanilla. I know that I will add some eggs, as you see, and I will also add some yogurt. I compost almost everything, so my eggshells do go in my countertop composter bin that gets thrown out once a week. As you can see, I'm adding in my oil now. I wish I could remember measurements, but I don't remember. I'm adding in the yogurt. This was a full-fat Greek-styled yogurt, plain. It was one of my Azure trials from last month. I know that I also add in some sugar at some point. I add flour and baking soda and salt, and then of course the blueberries get added. Here you can see I'm mixing the wet ingredients to the dry as per the recipe required. I do want to say these blueberry muffins turned out to be probably the best blueberry muffins I've ever made. Just personally, and I do highly recommend, if I can remember the recipe, I will add it to the description box below. Okay, so I'm currently reading Anna Kay by Jenny Lee, and I'm liking it. I'm not sucked into it. And I think part of me is because I keep going back to like, oh, this is a retelling of Anna Karenina. So like I keep comparing it to what I've read of Anna Karenina because I've not finished it. Shocker. I think I've started all of the great Russian novels and have finished none of them, but it's my goal this year is to read all of the Russian novels. Anyway, I'm liking it. We've met Anna, which is Anna. I think I'm on page, I don't remember what page I'm on, 70 something, 80 something, and I'm enjoying it. It's very much, I saw a review and it compared Anna Kay to Gossip Girl. Yes. If you think of this retelling of Anna Karenina as a Gossip Girl version of Anna Karenina, it makes perfect sense. You'll see it. The opulence, the money, the drugs, the alcohol, all of the things. You'll see it immediately. Very Gossip Girl. But it's a lot of fun to read, and I'm enjoying it so far. It kind of took me a minute to get into it. trigger warning, it starts off with an affair. Not even an affair, but like some cheating. So it like throws you into this world really fast. There's like a million people, as it's the fashion for any Russian novel. But you do in the beginning have a table of, it's not a table of contents, but it's basically a table of contents for all of the actors, who they are while they're in this story. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on, say I'm reading. It's been a snowy few days. My chickens are in the compost bin where they're supposed to be. Okay. I was making sure they weren't in the other garden. They're not. It's been a snowy few days here, so we've been going slow and just enjoying the winter before summer and spring happen, and there's a lot to do outside in the garden. So yeah, I'm gonna get some more reading done. I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. So editing me popping in once again, I realized as I was putting this video together that it's been a little while since I've been away from it, and a lot has happened. It's been a crazy few weeks at home, and so I've not been reading a whole lot. I've been getting the garden ready, getting all that set up, ready to go. We are now in the beginning of May, the end of April, beginning of May, and I'm just now getting this video fully edited and ready for you guys to watch it. You got to see in Azure standard order. I talked a little bit about reading Anna Kay. I made the most delicious blueberry muffins I think I've ever made, and I did find that recipe. I did but I did tweak it a little bit to what I had on hand, but I will post the link below because I fully believe that was probably the best blueberry muffins I've ever made in my life. I've not made those muffins again, which is a tragedy, but I will have to remedy that this week. I have some blueberries on my bushes that are ready to pick, so I'm probably gonna do that. But you saw me reading Anna Kay, and I took a video of me like giving my final thoughts on Anna Kay that I've somehow lost. I don't know what I did with the footage, but I will tell you now at the end of this video that I have very mixed emotions about how Anna Kay ended. And I think part of that, as I stated earlier in this video, is that I never finished reading Anna Karenina, is it Tolstoy? Did Tolstoy write Anna Kay? And that's something that, as a Russian minor, you can kill me over, because I was an English major, so I read a lot of books, but I never got to like the Russian classics in college, even though my minor was Russian. My minor focused on the language and culture, not so much the literature. But I really enjoyed Anna Kay. I think if you know the story of Anna Karenina, you go in knowing that it is a tragedy, a Russian tragedy. And so it was interesting to see the spin. Hi, Steven. Interesting to get that spin of what happens. There you go, buddy. So it was interesting to see the take on the tragedy that happens at the end of Anna Karenina. I know that the author took a few liberties, which is okay when you're doing a retelling, but she kept pretty true to who Anna Kay and the storyline was. I mentioned it a little earlier that there is a lot of trigger warnings in this book. There's a lot of sexual abuse, there is alcohol abuse, drug abuse, money abuse, really. A lot of opulence. When you're in that upper crust of New York society, or of society period, I guess, there are things that happen just because they can and just because you have the money to do them. It's really a tragedy, and I think that's the best word I can come up with. Some of the things that happened in this story really were just tragic and useless, and if someone had been supervising the children like they should have been, I think a lot of the tragedies could have been avoided. But you know, that's life. Children are ignored and they are left to their own devices quite frequently, more than they should be. You hear Teacher Rachel coming out a little bit now. But children need structure and they need parenting. I mean, they do. They need to be parented. They need the structure, and the kids in Anna Kay had none of that, and you really see it. I think this book could be beautifully studied in child psychology or in teen psychology about what happens when these teens have everything handed to them on a silver platter, quite literally, and they have no overhead protection or authority to look over them and make sure they are making good decisions. It's really a story in what happens when you're left to your own devices with everything handed to you and no consequences. Again, that's Teacher Rachel coming out a little bit. That's how I would think I would give this book as a study. But I enjoyed it. For all that it downfalls, there were a lot of really great moments. There were some really great like love moments. Just you could see the love between siblings, the love between couples, the love between people that humanity, you don't always get to see how siblings or children, that love and connection that there is. This book did a good job of rounding out all of that. Would I read it again? Probably not. I think I would go read the original Anna Karenina and just see how it compares, what I like, what I don't like. But the Russians are known for their tragedies. So I think that's just kind of how life fares out sometimes. But I've blabbered on long enough about Anna K. I did read some other books, but because I didn't mention them in this vlog at all, I'm not going to talk about them now. I've just not been reading a whole lot lately because of garden season, getting everything in the ground, everything prepared. And now that that's done, and school's about to be over, so I'm going to have a little bit more free time. We'll talk about some books. We'll talk about what's going on. But I do have an Azure order coming up. It's going to be a big one, so we will take you along for that. And just more cooking, more gardening. There's going to be a lot of preserving that starts happening soon. And then I want to take up needlepoint. And don't come at me, I know I'm an old lady, but needlepoint I think is going to be my next hobby. So if any of that sounds interesting, needlepoint, herbalism, something I'm going to start doing, it's going to be a shorts feature only, unless it's requested. I am going to start doing an herb of the month. So on shorts, I'm going to be talking about an herb of the month. I'm going to talk about its constituents. I'm going to talk about dosage. I'm going to talk about applications, what it's used for. I'm going to talk about, I can't think of the word right now off the top of my head, but I'm going to talk about if it's astringent, if it's a drying, like all of those things. I really believe in herbal medicine. As you know, I am an herbalist. I'm about to start a course through a school for plant medicine, so I'm going to really be studying all of this stuff out a little bit more, and so I'm excited to share it with you guys. I mean, this is life, right? Herbalism, gardening, canning, and books. And needlepoint, because I need to figure out needlepoint. I think I'm going to really enjoy it, because sewing and stuff is not my thing. I have rambled on a little bit longer than planned, but it was so good to sit down and talk with you guys. I hope you're enjoying the videos. I know they are not quite full booktube and not quite garden tube either. They're just like a mixture of both, and that's who I am. I am a mixture of books, herbalism, gardening, and beach. As you can tell, I went to the beach. I have a nice tan going on right now, but that's just who I am, and I don't want to niche down to one thing, because me as a person, I am not one thing. I don't believe any human is one thing, and so I'm just sharing my life, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. And if you have stayed this far, what is a new hobby you've started this month or this year? I mean, we're in May. What's a new hobby you've started? Let me know. Bye, guys.